Hello and welcome to part 3 of this mini-series training on the common fears and concerns that hold people back from getting started in property development. In the last module, we talked about the issues related to doing a feasibility study, finance more broadly across property development, and the question of risk. And in this module, we're going to look at the final issue that people put up as a reason not to get started in property development, and that is, how do they even get started? So let's talk about the final concern that people have around not being able to know where to start on property development. So if this is you, this is my advice. Think about what sort of project you'd love to tackle first. Maybe it's a duplex project, a 3-unit project, or a 4-unit project, whatever it is. And then, once you settle on that, identify some areas that you can afford to buy into or that are close to home. And then, in those areas, try to find some similar kinds of projects to the ones that you would love to do. So, drive around those areas, drive through the streets, and check out any listings on realestate.com.au to find the kind of projects that you want to do. Then, once you've identified those sites and blocks, research how much those blocks of land sell for. If there's a project already being built on it, see if you can find out who the builder is or the selling agent and get in touch with them and have a chat to them and find out how big are those new properties that are being built? How much are they costing to be built? How much do you think they're going to sell for when they're finished? Start gathering some information on those big 3 numbers that we talked about. The buy price for the land, the selling price for the finished product, and the build cost to build those new units. You can talk to local selling agents who are selling these projects and ask them about who the likely buyers are and what the demand is like, because this will help you build up an understanding of the area. And those agents, most of them should be happy to talk to you. Tell them you're thinking of doing something similar in the area and you're looking for an agent to bring onto the team. And I think you'll find that they'll be more than happy to talk to you. The other thing to start doing is continuing working on your education and start building a team. You can start figuring out who you want to have as your legal advisor, who's going to help you with finance, what broker you want to use or that you know of or that you can start to look for. You can start figuring out who's doing the designs on those projects that you've been looking at. Maybe you need a town planner. These are all people that you can talk to before a project starts to start figuring out whether they might be a right fit for you, and they'll also be great sources of information. I'd invite you to consider joining up to the property developer training, where I go through the development process in detail, step by step, simply walking you through it with lots of awesome content on finance and feasibilities, because I know people want to know about that stuff. So there's plenty in there. So if that sounds interesting to you, head over to propertydevelopertraining.com and check it out. And if you want to get started, use the special code of START. The other thing that's really worthwhile considering is, what's your purpose for actually doing development? Why do you want to get into property development? What do you hope to get out of it? And what would your ultimate life look like if it was exactly how you wanted it to be? Start thinking about all these things, and then you can take steps towards making them happen. All I'd suggest to you is just to go for it. You only get one life, and nobody's going to wake up tomorrow and try and get that for you, except for you. So, just wrapping up, we've gone through the common fears and concerns that hold people back from getting started in property development. We've talked about how fear drives decision making and how if we identify our fears, we can work on the mitigation measures that we can put in place to stop them from happening. And the reason that we have fear is because we're ignorant and we use our imagination. Then the solution to that is education and awareness. As I've said, don't be guided by fear, be guided by your inspiration. Go after something that you'd love to do. The toughest days when you're going after your own challenges are so much better than the best days when you're working for somebody else or trying to help somebody else's dream come true. So if getting started in property development sounds exciting to you, then head over to propertydevelopertraining.com, have a look at everything that's in the training and use the code START. I'd love to see you inside and I hope to see you there soon. If you're not yet ready to join the training, that's fine. Perhaps tune in and join me on the Property Developer podcast and get your property development fix that way. Thanks for tuning in and best wishes for your property development journey.